Welcome to the Stoic Responder Podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Healy. As a special agent who spent more than 15 years conducting large-scale fraud, money laundering, and public corruption investigations, Stoic philosophy provided a mindset edge that became the foundation of my professional success. My mission today is to share those same ancient mindset lessons with you so that you can turn obstacles into opportunities and adversity into advantage. Time to muster up. Folks, welcome back to the Stoic Responder Podcast. It's episode 63. Friction is essential. Before we get started, I want to remind you of our favorite 501c3 that supports the law enforcement community. That is, of course, the Overwatch Collective. The Overwatch Collective is a nonprofit and podcast funding therapy sessions and supporting mental health initiatives for our first responders, our veterans, and their families. The motto over there is one more is one less. And when you consider that this September during Suicide Prevention Month, it's a great motto to keep in mind because one more person that we can provide therapy services to is one less person who becomes a statistic. So if you would like to help the Overwatch Collective with their mission, you can check them out at theoverwatchcollective.com. You can make a donation or buy some sweet gear, knowing that all of those dollars that you spend over at the Overwatch Collective are going to go to a good cause of taking care of the people who are taking care of us. Also, I want to give a shout out to Blue Badge Coffee Company. The mission of Blue Badge Coffee Company is to provide customers with the absolute highest quality premium coffee that their money can buy. They also take a portion of every sale and donate it to law enforcement agencies around our great nation to assist in funding and maintaining peer support and wellness programs for their officers. These programs are crucial for the physical and mental well-being of hardworking law enforcement officers and agencies across the country. You can check them out at bluebadgecoffee.com. All right, so let me start you out with a quote from Seneca. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. I absolutely love this quote, always have. You know, it brings such a great image to mind. Picture of a gemstone in its natural state, raw, uncut, hidden underneath layers of imperfection. It just looks like a rock, right? But within that gemstone or within that rock, just like, within us, there's potential brilliance. It just remains obscured and unrealized until friction is applied. The act of polishing, that its innate beauty becomes manifest. Again, this analogy reverberates with me. It reverberates with you. I'm sure it reverberates with each of us because the gem represents the potential that each of us has. And the friction signifies the adversities, the trials, the challenges that are going to act as catalysts for that personal growth, that allow us to emerge and show off our true brilliance. Just as a gem is going to require the abrasion of polishing in order to shine, we have to have challenges in our lives to reveal our own latent virtues, right? The gem requires abrasion. We require challenges if we're going to shine. It's the cultivation of wisdom, virtue, tranquility. These things don't happen without trials, right? We don't become wiser without bumping into a few things, right? We don't become more virtuous without having to test our virtue. Our mind doesn't become more tranquil without practicing, without dealing with things that cause us to react, and then practicing tranquility based on that. It's only in these times when adversity is a big part of our lives that our true character is allowed to be revealed. And that character, which is often honed through those moments of adversity, that serves as a tool that enables us to navigate life's complexities with greater grace, with greater dignity. That is the thing. We often think of friction, of adversity as an impediment to our journey, when in reality, it's the catalyst that refines us. It's the catalyst that enables us to emerge from challenges not only unscathed, but actually more radiant. This is one of the reasons why I am a huge proponent of doing something every single day that I don't want to do, that I'm not looking forward to engage in voluntary adversity, because I know that that is providing friction in my life that is making me a more polished person. It's making me a more radiant person. It's allowing my character to become more fully defined. It's getting all that, that rough outer layer off by applying some friction to my life. So this month, my thing is I'm doing 100 man makers a day. Now, I'm not doing them weighted every single day. I'm going to be traveling a few times this month, but for the most part, I'm doing them weighted with 15-pound weights. it sucks. I don't look forward to it. I don't want to do it. It is not fun. I don't enjoy it. That's friction. But that friction, doing that thing, that example of voluntary adversity, doing that thing, overcoming it, checking that box every single day allows me to have a more fully developed character. Because when we hone our character through adversity, it serves as a tool that allows us to accept and navigate the challenges of life more easily. That involuntary adversity that's going to find every single one of us. So don't shy away from friction. Yes, we want to have systems in our life that reduce friction, that make us more efficient. But friction in the form of adversity, it's not an impediment. It can be a catalyst to making you a greater person than you've ever been. It can allow your character to shine through in the same way that allows that gemstone to shine. So let me leave you with a quick thought. If you want to get out your Big Chief notebook and write this down, ask yourself this: where can I apply more friction in my life? Now, again, as I said, we try to create systems. We try to create standards. We try to create tactics that eliminate friction, that allow us to get from point A to point B more quickly. Totally get that. Understandable. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is where can I add some voluntary adversity to my life that's going to help me polish that gemstone. It's going to help my character develop some character traits that are going to help me when involuntary adversity rears its ugly head. How can I polish that gemstone with a little bit more friction? It might be as simple as I'm taking a cold shower for 2 minutes every day. I am going to do 100 kettlebell swings a day for 30 straight days. I'm going to do 100 burpees, 100 man makers, 100 push, whatever the case may be. Find something that applies a little bit of friction to your life and allows you something that is challenging enough to be annoying, but you get to overcome it every single day. You get to check that box, and that is how character grows. You keep promises to yourself. You become more polished. You become more refined. You become more capable of dealing with adversity when it is involuntary. That's what I got for you today, folks. If you want to support this podcast, there's a couple ways you can do so. Number one, you can buy a copy of my book, In Valor 365 Stoic Meditations for First Responders. You can buy it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, anywhere you get your books. It's a great way to practice this philosophy daily. It's going to give you some quotes, some contextualization that is directly relatable to your job. It's also going to give you some daily journal prompts and action items, just like the one you just got. They're going to help you integrate these lessons. Number two, you can subscribe for free to the Stoic Responder over on Substack. You're going to get these episodes in your email inbox 4 times a week. And you're also going to get my writings, my weekly or bi-weekly newsletter that I send out. It's going to give you a little bit more in-depth discussion on leadership, on tips, tools, and tactics to polish that gemstone, to put a little bit of voluntary friction in your life. And finally, you can like, share, and subscribe this podcast so that others can learn what we're doing here. The more people that like, share, and subscribe, the more we can spread the word about this transformative philosophy. So I leave you with that, folks. I've got 2 more episodes for you this week. Until next time, you are out of roll. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to subscribe, like, rate, and share this podcast so that we can spread the benefits of Stoicism to other first responders. It will only take you a few moments, but it can help us tremendously. Until next time, out of roll.